Happy New Year's, everyone! It's Jeff, the director, here to welcome you back to 2013. Everyone here at WellCast is so grateful for your feedback and support. WellCast will resume again next week, but for now, I've left the other portion of the podcast that didn't make it into last week's episode for your listening pleasure. Stay tuned next week, and please subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates on WellCast.
So what was the inspiration behind WellCast?
So the funny thing is, actually, WellCast wasn't always going to be animated. It was supposed to be live action, basically a conversation, people debating topics of wellness. That was the most boring thing anyone had ever watched. And then Jeff came in, our fearless director, and he brought in this amazing team of animators and this great artistic sensibility, and he brought Caitlin, and it turned into this completely different thing.
To me, I thought the show was sort of like clay, sort of a chance for me to experiment with it, and I thought given the wide assortment of topics, animation would actually play a vital part into connecting to viewers on an emotional level. So, I contacted, some of my very good friends from college who are really talented animators, and they helped me create the pilot for it. I think one of the greatest roles that I would want WellCast to play into our viewers' lives is I've always thought of WellCast as that one older sibling that can be there for you. It's something that I wish I could have had when I was growing up, when I needed help or advice on so-and-so topic. And I think that's the best part that WellCast can play.
I think probably the neatest part about working on this show is that not only do I get to do something that I love, which is storyboarding and animating, but I learn so much with every script that I get. Stuff I haven't even considered, like with procrastination or with balancing your present and future self. There's a lot of really helpful tips in there that I just didn't know about. So it's been really helpful, at least trying to better my own life, along with making it clearer for everyone how to better their own lives as well. So
I was thinking about it, and I think my favorite episode is the Introvert's Survival Guide to a Party, personally because as much as this might sound surprising, I actually really hate that first 5 minutes of going into a party because you walk through the door and then everyone looks at you. And having an out like that, like an actual strategy to get out of there if it gets too weird, is really nice. And I have actually implemented that. So there you go. That's my favorite episode.
This might be one of my favorite parts of watching WellCast is after I write the scripts and then I give them off and I hear them and I see them and they're amazing. Like, they're so much better than when I just hand them off on this piece of paper. But Caitlin does this voice sometimes that Stephanie, the designer, and Jeff, the director, have called the Lucy voice because it's kind of how they imitate me. And it's kind of like, it's sort of like a, "Oh, guys, what's going on? Why aren't you taking me to the party?" And you and you do that voice sometimes, and we thought you were doing an impression of me, but by your look right now, you look a little shocked and scared, so I'm guessing that you didn't.
You guys, I'm hearing this for the first time. I didn't know this.
Oh, come on, guys. Why don't you want to hang out with me? Nobody.
That one?
that's Lucy.
I find that hard to believe because you're a very bubbly, sweet person, and the material that you give is really fun to work with. And I've noticed that. Pardon me. I don't think anybody listening to this understands. This is the first time I've ever been in the room with the whole team. So no, I mean honestly, I think that's kind of an interesting thing. A lot of people that get into kind of any representative art like this. The first, kind of most shocking thing is how many people can be involved in one project. And we're really lucky because this is a really small team. As I started to work on this, people would say, "Oh, wow, you're the WellCast voice." And I'd just be staring at them. And I forget that I leave this room and then something magical happens. But the material has gotten a lot more fun, and I think it's because you hear my voice and you go, "Well, maybe, we'll make it a little bit more goofy." And that affects everything. That affects what you guys at home see on the screen. That affects what I get to do here in the studio. So I'm really sorry that my sad, weird, dumpy voice has been hijacked and turned into an impression of you.
No, it was an impression of her first.
Oh.
And then, it sounded, when you did it, it was like, that's how we make fun of Lucy. She knows.
Meeting Caitlin for the first time was mind-blowing for me because I always just hear her voice. And it really helps when I'm coming up with visuals because honestly, probably the hardest part about making a WellCast episode is coming up with the ideas. And they look simple, but I think a lot about what goes into the episode and how the scene is going to go out. I have to time everything. It's like, do we have enough time for this or that? And just having a really great script and a really fun animated voice makes it a lot easier to come up with things, unless we had a really depressing topic. But
Stay tuned.
let's keep it positive, guys. But yeah, so it's just been really great because I am also just meeting these people for the first time. I work at home alone in my studio, and I just watch people alone at night. But in all honesty, though, it's been really great, and I really hope that you guys can feel kind of the sense of camaraderie that we have here, because we all put our very best in these episodes, and it seems like you're really responding to it. So it's been really fun coming up with new material.
I think what we would get from this is that, especially I sadly don't get to see Sarah and Caitlin enough. This is the first time that Sarah and Caitlin I've seen every so often. The point is that Jeff and Stephanie I see every day, and it is kind of it's like we're a WellCast team, and yes, they make fun of me, but the point is that I think part of the reason it's we're friends, and now we have a bunch of WellCast viewers out there. I just feel like the community is growing bigger.
Tweet us at WatchWellCast, email us at watchwellcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time.